Alright, what's good, y'all? So I'm back with another Bible reading today. I am on Nehemiah 5. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. Nehemiah. I didn't post a video yesterday because I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon, so I didn't actually read my Bible today or yesterday. So for today, since I missed out on that, which I've been doing very good on reading my Bible every day, but every couple of times I have a slip up, but I've been doing good. Pretty much every week I'm reading my Bible at least every day, sometimes twice a day. But I want to read 4 pages today to make up for yesterday. And tonight I'm hoping I can remind myself to read a little bit. I have a bunch of alarms set for me to remind myself to read my Bible, but I'll see the alarm go off and then I'll put it down immediately, and I don't like doing that. I got to stop doing that. I got to stop putting my games in front of the word. So, and it's not like something I'm realizing as well. I feel the most calm when I am just being able to read my Bible and just chill, whether I'm listening to music or I'm just sitting in my room or outside reading my Bible. But when I'm playing games, I'm not usually really that happy. Like, games don't make me as happy as they did when I was younger, and even then, they make me upset. So, I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm going to keep trying to push myself to be better every day. Today I've been doing kind of okay. I've been doing all right. I've been having a little bit of lust here and there, but not anything really bad, and I'm glad about that. So hopefully I can stay on a good track. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going on a whole week now, clean, not like sober clean, but clean from lust. Kind of. It's not like I'm fully just away from lust. Like I haven't watched anything, or like I've still watched a couple things, and I've definitely like thought about some but I've stayed away from full on giving in, and I'm happy about that. But I got to get better, and hopefully this is a new chance to get better. Hopefully I'm actually becoming a little bit stronger. Obviously, all praise to God for that. But I'm just going to keep trying to move on. I'm going to keep trying to do a little bit better. So yeah. Hopefully I don't know if I'm going to edit this video, but I'm going to put it into some shorts because more people will see it that way. And I really want these to get more attention than my gaming videos, because recently I've been kind of tired on doing gaming videos. I've put out a lot of videos so far, and it's not because I'm not getting views or nothing like that. It's just because I don't really feel like editing right now, because I'm just now getting into a good schedule where I'm being able to wake up early. So I'm going to keep that going, and then hopefully eventually I'll actually start recording some games I want to play. I know I'm going to have some more Night Shift. I got one more video coming out for that. And probably some other gameplay of something else too. I'll try to figure it out. But for right now, I'm going to grab some water and I'm going to start. Ooh. Alright, put my phone on my Bible, and I'm going to just start reading right now. The work is so spread out, I explained to them, and we are spread so widely from each other, that when you hear the trumpet blow, you must rush to where I am, and God will fight for us. We worked early and late, from sunrise to sunset, and half the men were always on guard. I told everyone living outside the walls to move into Jerusalem so that their servants could go on duty as well as work during the day. During this period, none of us, I nor my brothers, nor the servants, nor the guards who were with me, ever took off our clothes, and we carried our weapons with us at all times. About this time, there was a great outcry of protest from parents against some of the rich Jews who were profiteering on them. What was happening was that the families who ran out of money for food had to sell their children or mortgage. Is that mortgage? Mortgage their fields, vineyards, and homes to these rich men, and some couldn't even do that, for they already had borrowed to the limit to pay their taxes. We are their brothers and our children. Wait, sorry, I read that wrong. We are their brothers, and our children are just like theirs. The people protested. When we must sell our children into slavery to get enough money to live, we have already sold some of our daughters, and we are helpless to redeem them, for our fields too are mortgaged to these men. I was very angry when I heard this, so after thinking about it, I spoke out against these rich government officials. What is this you are doing? I demanded. How dare you demand a mortgage as a condemnation for helping another Israelite, as a condition, Then I called a public trial to deal with them. At the trial, I shouted at them, "The rest of us are doing all we can to help our Jewish brothers who have returned from exile as slaves in distant lands, but you are forcing them right back into slavery again. How often must we redeem them?" And they had nothing to say in their own defense. Just wanted to point out right here, another verse that's showing that the Bible is not against slavery. I don't know where people got that from, where they think that the Bible condones slavery. I mean, right here it's literally saying they don't want to be put back into slavery, and they don't want anybody else to be put into slavery. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was funny. Then I pressed further. What are you doing? This is very evil. What you are doing is very evil, I exclaimed. Should you not walk in fear of our God? Don't we have enough enemies among the nations around us who are trying to destroy us? The rest of us are lending money and grain to our fellow Jews without any interest. I beg you, gentlemen, stop this business of usury, I think, usury. Restore these fields, vineyards, oil yards, and homes to them this very day, and drop your claims against them. So they agreed to do it, and said that they would assist their brothers without requiring them to mortgage their lands and sell them their children. Then I summoned the priests and made these men formally vow to carry out promises, and I invoked the curse of God upon any of them who refuse. May God destroy your homes and livelihoods if you fail to keep this promise I declared. And all the people shouted Amen and praised the Lord. And the rich men did as they promised. I would like to mention that for the entire 12 years that I was governor of Judah, from the 20th until the 30s, my aides and I accepted no salaries or other assistance from the people of Israel. This was quite a contrast to the former governors who had demanded food and wine and 100 a day in cash, and had put the population at the mercy of their aides. Who tyrannized them, but I obeyed God and did not act that way. I stayed at work on the wall and refused to speculate in land. I also required my officials to spend time on the wall. All this despite the fact that I regularly fed 150 Jewish officials at my table. Besides visitors from other countries, the provisions required for each day were 1 ox, 6 fat sheep, and a large number of domestic fowls. And we needed a huge supply of all kinds of wines every 10 days, yet I refused to make a special levy against the people, for they were already having a difficult time. Oh my God, please keep in mind all that I have done for these people and bless me for it. I'm gonna grab some more water. Ooh. When Sanballat, Tobiah, Gershom, the Arab, and the rest of our enemies found out that we had almost completed the rebuilding of the wall, though we had not yet hung all the doors on the gates, they sent me a message asking me to meet them in one of the villages in the plain of Onu, Onu, I think. But I realized they were plotting to kill me, so I replied by sending back this message to them. I am doing a great work. Why should I stop and come visit you? 4 times they sent the same message, and each time I gave the same reply. The 5th time, Sanballat's servant came with an open letter in his hand, and this is what it said. Gresham tells me that everywhere he goes, he hears that the Jews are planning to rebel, and that is why you are building the wall. He claims you plan to be their king. That is what is being said. He also reports that you have appointed prophets to campaign for you at Jerusalem by saying, look, Nephiim is just the man we need. You can be very sure that I am going to pass these interesting comments on to King Artaxerxes. I suggest that you come and talk it over with me, for that is the only way you can save yourself. My reply was, you know you are lying. There isn't one bit of truth in that whole story. You're just trying to scare us into stopping our work. Oh Lord God, please strengthen me. A few days later, I went to visit Shemaiah, son of Deliah, who was the son of Methabel, for he said he was receiving a message from God. Let us hide in the temple and blot the doors, he said. Oh, he exclaimed, for they are coming tonight to kill you. Ooh. Sorry, I gotta move my phone real quick. Okay. But I replied, should I, the governor, run away from danger? If I go into the temple not being a priest, I would forfeit my life. No, I won't do it. Then I realized that God had not spoken to him, but Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him to scare me and make me sin by fleeing to the temple, and then they would be able to accuse me. Oh my God, I prayed, don't forget all the evil of Tobiah and Sanballat. No, Adiah, the prophetess, and all the other prophets who have tried to discourage me. The wall was finally finished in early September, just 52 days after we had begun. When our enemies and the surrounding nations heard about it, they were frightened and humiliated, and they realized that the work had been done with the help of our God. During those 52 days, many letters went back and forth between Tobiah and the wealthy politicians of Judah, for many in Judah had sworn allegiance to him because his father-in-law was Shelishiah, son of Arah, and because his son Jehoniam, I don't know that name, was married to the daughter of Meshulam, son of Berechiah. They all told me what a wonderful man Tobiah was. And then they told me everything I had said, and Tobiah sent many threatening letters to frighten me. After the wall was finished, and we had hung the doors and the gates and had appointed the gatekeepers, singers, and Levites, I gave the responsibility of governing Jerusalem to my brother Hanai and to Hananiah, the commander of the fortress, a very faithful man who revered God more than most people do. I issued instructions to them not to open the Jerusalem gates until well after sunrise, and to close and lock them while the guards were still on duty. I also decreed that the guards be residents of Jerusalem, and that they must be on duty at regular times, and that each homeowner who lives near the wall must guard the section of the wall next to his own home. For the city was large, but the population was small, and only a few houses were scattered throughout the city. Then the Lord told me to call together all the leaders of the city along with the ordinary citizens for registration, for I had found a record of the genealogies. I don't know how to say that name or say that word. Genealogies of those who had returned to Judah before, and this is what was written in it. The following is a list of names of the Jews who returned to Judah after being exiled by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. The leaders were, and so now it's just going to go through, I'll show you the page. It's just going to go through and kind of name, I zoomed in. It's just going to show all the names of like everybody who was, exiled and all the people that came back. So I'm going to skip most of that. Another group returned to Jerusalem at that time from the Persian cities of Tamalia, Tel Harshiah, Chereb, Adon, and Emir. But they had lost their I wish I could say that word. I know that word. I don't know how to say it right now, but I'll figure it out later probably. And could not prove their Jewish ancestry. Did I say that right? Ancestry? I have no idea. These were the subclans of Delilah, Tobiah, and Nekuda, a total of 642. There was also several subclans of priests named after Habiah, Hakoz, and Barzillai. Ooh, I almost dropped my phone. He married one of the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadite and took her family name, whose genealogy, I'm not even going to try that, had been lost. So they were not allowed to continue as priests or even to receive the priests' share of food from the sacrifices until Urim and Thummim had been consulted to find out from God whether or not they actually were descendants of priests. So I heard something moving around behind me. There was a total of 42,360 citizens who returned to Judah at that time, also 7,337 slaves, and 245 choir members, both men and women. They took with them 736 horses, 245 mules, 435 camels, and 6,720 donkeys. Some of their leaders gave gifts for them for the work. The governor gave 5,000 in gold, 50 golden bulls, and 530 sets of clothing for the priests. The other leaders gave a total of 100,000 in gold and 77,000 in silver. And the common people gave 100,000 in gold, 70,000 in silver, and 67 cents of clothing from the priests, or for the priests. The priests, the Levites, the gatekeepers, and the choir members, and the temple attendants, and the rest of the people now returned home to their own towns and villages throughout Judah. But during the month of September they came back to Jerusalem. Now in mid-September all the people assembled at the plaza in front of the water gate and requested Azariah, their religious leader, to read to them the law of God which had been given to Moses. So Ezra, the priest, Ezra, the priest brought out to them the scroll of Moses, of Moses' laws. He stood on a wooden stand made especially for this occasion so that everyone could see him as he read. He faced the square in front of the water gate and read from early morning until noon. Everyone stood up as he opened the scroll and... Oh my gosh. What the... I just had a bee fly on me and then bro tried to fly directly at my eye. Okay. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't on my hair or anything, sorry. Where was I at? Everyone stood up as he opened the scroll, and all who were old enough to understand paid close attention to his right. Oh my gosh. Everyone that was old enough to understand paid close attention. To his right stood Mattiliah, Shemiah, Ananiah, Uriah, Hilkiah, and Maaseiah. To his left were Pedaiah, Meliel, Melchijah, Hashum, Hashbaddanan. I'm probably butchering these names badly, but I'm trying my best. Zechariah and Meshullam. Then Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God, and all the people said, Amen, and lifted their heads towards the heavens. Then they bowed and worshipped the Lord, with their faces towards the ground, as Ezra read from the scroll. Jeshubeni, Sherebiah, Jeniah or Jemine, Akrab, Shabethiah. I don't know those names, so I'm going to skip those. And the Levites went among the people and explained the meaning of the passage that was being read. All the people began sobbing when they heard the commands of the law. Then Ezra the priest, and I as governor, and the Levites who were assisting me, said to them, Don't cry on such a day as this, for today is a sacred day before the Lord your God. It is a time to be celebrated with a hearty meal and to send presents to those in need. For the joy of the Lord is your strength. You must not be dejected and sad. And the Levites too quieted the people, telling them, That's right, don't weep, for this is a day of holy joy, not of sadness. So the people went away to eat a festive meal and to send presents. It was a time of great joyful celebration because they could hear and understand God's words. The next day, the clan leaders and the priests, the Levites, met with Ezra to go over the law in greater detail. As they studied it, they noted that Jehovah had told Moses that the people of Israel should live in tents during the festival of tabernacles to be held that month. He said also that a proclamation should be made throughout the cities of the land, especially in Jerusalem, telling the people to go to the hills to get branches from olive, mardiel, palm, and fig trees, and to make huts with which to live in. To make huts in which to live for the duration of the feast. So the people went out, cut branches, and used them to build huts on the roofs of their houses, or in their courtyards, or in the court of the temple, or on the plaza beside the water gate, or at the Ephraim Gate Plaza. They lived in these huts for the 7 days of the feast, and everyone was filled with joy. This I don't know how to pronounce that word, had not been carried out since these days. Since these days of Joshua. Ezra read from the scroll on each of the 7 days of the feast, and on the 8th day there was a solemn closing service as required by the laws of Moses. Okay, so that was 4 pages. It only took me 24 minutes, which before reading 4 pages took me 30 minutes. So I'm definitely getting a little bit better at reading, and I'm very happy about that. But that's where I'm going to end it right now. I think I'm almost on the book of Job, actually, if I'm correct. Yes, I'm very close. I'm like maybe 13 pages away, I think. But for now, I'm on Ezra Praises God and a Covenant with God. page 410 to 411. So that's where I'm going to leave it off today. I hope you all have a beautiful and amazing day outside. If you haven't gone outside today at all, I feel like you should. Just try to spend at least 30 minutes outside every day. It kind of helps me to open up a little bit. Maybe it'll help you too. Not too sure. But I want to try to get better with my lust especially. And that's not the only thing I'm dealing with. I'm also dealing with thoughts, and I'm just dealing with sometimes even jealousy or just a bunch of other random stuff that I really do want to get I want to get like control of. You know, I don't want to be a bad person anymore. I still want to be better. That is going to be my goal for the rest of my life, and I hope that I can keep it. And, you know, praise be to God. I pray that I can just do it and be better. So God bless you all. I pray that all of your plans work out. I pray that God protects all of y'all, no matter what religion you are, no matter what no matter what you believe in. I pray that you have an amazing and beautiful day outside, and remember to go outside and eat some healthy food or drink some water, whatever you got to do. But peace out, and God bless y'all.